Yes, okay. All right. Okay, so let's get started with the session. So we have arranged this session for Q&A because a couple of you have been asking questions around the Maa Kali workshop that we did. By the way, is there anybody here who has not done our Maa Kali workshop and still has joined the session? Um, just for me to have a little bit of context. Okay, so maybe a couple of you. Okay. All right. So this is for both. So if you have been part of our Makali workshop, or if you have not been part of, both together. Okay. So first of all, I would request if those of you who can start being on their cameras and come on camera, please be. It will be easier for me also to interact. And those of you who are traveling maybe and maybe have something going on in their house, they can let it be. That's okay. Okay. Also, this is a only woman session. Having said that, because we are not going to be giving any practice, a man can also join for sure. Why not? But most of the conversations will happen around the ladies. Okay. All right. So first of all, um, in the series that we have actually started from last month, what happened is that I felt this call from my feminine lineage, from Devi, that there was this, set of, or this group of women who existed, who walked on this planet at a certain point of time. They were called by different names. In India or in this part of the world, we call them as Bhairavis or Tantrikas or Yoginis and all of that. And maybe in the other part of the land, they were seekers or they were seers, they were priestesses, they were also witches. So they were called many different names, but there was this one common thing in all of these women, that they understood that the path of spiritual awakening for a woman's body, for if your soul has manifested in a woman's vessel, comes through the body, comes through the pleasure, comes through the desire. And they were not um, they were not doing the work of abandoning the body. Okay. No, Ritik, you can stay if you want to. There's no, if you're interested in this kind of work, you can listen. There's no problem with that. So, this path of awakening was about accepting the body, accepting the different messages that the body sends, whether it is the message of desire, the message of pain, the message of pleasure, that doesn't matter. And they not only knew this wisdom, but they also channeled it to help people, to heal people, to become portals, to become bridges between higher dimensions and lower dimensions. Now, for many reasons, which we will probably discuss a little later, they were not so much accepted. Maybe they were too much. And how many of us have heard that actually, that you are too much? Maybe by from our family members or maybe from our colleagues. You're too much. You feel too much. You talk too much. You preach too much, and all of that, right? You love too much. You give too much. So maybe it was too much, and they were labeled like that. And many of them were silenced. Um, some of them were silenced because the path that they were exploring could make them so powerful that probably it can go out of the hands of those who were trying to control. So, and how many of us have felt that our power has been in one way or the other trying to, like, whether it is through tradition, whether it is through culture, or whether it is through just, you know, patriarchy wrapped in love, whatever you want to say. But it has happened. And so that is why what I'm trying to draw here is that if you see there is a similarity between those women and the experiences that we go through. even though we are not doing all that magical stuff that they probably did. But our pain, our experiences, our problems are on very similar grounds. And that is why many of us actually, why is that actually? Because it's a circle, right? This whole yuga or this world works in a circle. Everything comes back. Okay, it circles back. So what is happening is we are circling back. Those women who were probably the healers, the teachers, the herbalists, or different skills, they are all circling back and waking up in our bloods, in our bones, in our tears. And that is why now we are questioning everything. We are not able to just accept something maybe as the previous generation did. Okay. So, what are the ways to know if you are one of them? And you could be somebody who's really like a normal person, does a job, lives their own life. You don't have to be someone like me who always talks about all these extraterritorial things or things that are outside this universe. You could be somebody who's very normal, has a job, has a family. So how would you know if you also carry the similar impressions of those yoginis, of those tantrikas who were probably once silenced? The number one thing that you can know, the number one sign is that you absolutely dislike control. Absolutely. Like there's one thing when you say that, yeah, okay, that person is controlling, but fine. And another thing is that I just cannot. You just cannot, no matter what. Right. So that is like the number one sign. Because of course they were controlled, they were silenced. So that rage is going to be there. The other sign of this, which is very common, is that you truly, truly love your freedom. And you can do anything to have that. And maybe many aspects in your life have been about, I want to be free, whether it is abundantly free, financially free, um, free in your movement, free in your experiences. But there is a absolute need of freedom. And no, we're not talking about feminism here, right? By the way, it may seem like that, but we're talking about much more deeper, actually, from a very spiritual lens. So I'll come to that. Another quality of you carrying that code is that you're just drawn to ancient places, ancient temples, okay, places that have been probably um, outcasted, not so much fitting in our today's life and city and all that. Like you would rather be living in a, countryside and near the forest, near the stream or whatever. That is something that you would crave, and you cannot find yourself fitting in this city. That is another simple sign, but yes, a sign. Few of us who are truly remembering this, like who have not just began their journey but who have already walked some of it, for us we will be drawn to some really not so popular goddesses. Like, I don't know how many of you have heard about this goddess called Lajja Gauri. If anybody has, you can please give me a yes. But there are very unknown goddesses or goddesses that are not so popular, and you may be drawn to them. You may want to know more about them, whether of this, religion or not, or whether if it's come from different culture, that doesn't matter. Another thing about you is that there will be some form of art that you hold in yourself. That art could be just that you're very good in writing. Maybe you're very good with words. Maybe you're very good with colors. Maybe just the way you carry yourself, your dressing sense. But there will be some kind of art that you hold in yourself. That's another simple, subtle sign. And there are many. Honestly, I can talk about it like for the entire session. But what I'm trying to say is that when I started this series, of course, being drawn to occult sciences, being drawn to Ayurveda, being drawn to magical practices, those kind of things, spells. Okay, being drawn to anything which is connected to body, like somatic work, breath work, movement. So those kind of things, you will definitely be drawn to those kind of things. So now, why am I suddenly drawing this parallel? Is because it's actually very simple. When I got this call, because when I started my spiritual journey, No disrespect to all the beautiful scriptures that are already there, and I absolutely loved reading them, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is something else. But for some reason my shadow never felt accepted in many of these scriptures, and I could have denied my shadows. And one of the shadows is, which many women actually have told me in like personal chats and all that, that whenever they meditated on their root chakra or then the sacral chakra, they felt a sensual arousal. And this sensual arousal is something that just they just placed as sin, that, oh my god, it's a sin, how can I feel like this when I'm meditating on literally God? So, and I also felt the same. So there were, and this is just like, I'm just like touching the surface, but there were so many incidences that I just couldn't place that in the spiritual path that I was leading. And then I thought, no, rejection is not the way. I just cannot keep rejecting whatever that is going on. Okay. And the biggest thing that I was rejecting actually was my body. And how many of us have been doing that actually in one way or the other? And it's not just that. So many of us confuse that, okay, maybe I'm taking care of my body, maybe I'm eating well, maybe I'm exercising, so that means I'm not rejecting my body. But that is not true. You reject your body every time when you want to say no to somebody. Your jaw is clenching, you don't want to do this, but you end up saying yes. So your body gives signs all the times, and we have been rejecting it, we have been not seeing it. So that's when I realized that, hey, whatever my shadows are, and if I want to, because I truly felt, honestly felt stuck. And as a person who talks about spirituality, who does courses, this was like really recent. I'm not talking about 5 years before. This was like almost 3 months before, when I was like, what should I do next? I'm not able to move forward. And there was this whole down period. Okay. And that's when Maa Kali came. And she comes to me. For me, I don't know about you, let me know if that's your similar experience, but I always have this connection with Maa Kali. But she always like do her grand appearance whenever I'm in my lowest. That's when she'll come, she'll do her job, and then she'll leave. Like, okay, you take care now. That is how it has been for me. So when Maa Kali started to come in my meditations, in my visions, in my dreams, intuition, then I realized, okay, something is going to die and something is going to rebirth, because that's what she does. So then this path, that is the path of Devi, began. When I realized that we have been told that you need to abandon your body if you want to awaken, but it's actually the opposite. You need to be so much present in your body. Pleasure is not bad. In fact, we literally have goddesses like Kamakshi or even Tripura Sundari, who are goddesses who are representing the eternal bliss. It is desire. Many of us say that desire is not right in this spiritual path, but it is desire, which is also called, by the way, the Ichha Shakti, that created this entire universe. So all of this isn't bad, just placed in a different lens. That's all. That is how the path of Devi began. Now, in this path, another very big revelation came, which I think most of you will be able to relate, which is suddenly you will start to feel that the masculine in your life, whoever it is, maybe your divine partner, maybe your husband, maybe your boyfriend, partner, whoever it is, but even fathers, by the way, fathers and brothers also sometimes, but the masculine in your life suddenly feels that he's not able to understand me. He's not able to, like, what masculine does? Masculine is like a container, and it holds you. But what if you have become an ocean? Which container will fit that? So suddenly, the masculine in your life can feel that he's not able to understand me. He's not able to contain me. All that I feel, all that I want to express, it's just not being contained by him. And on the other hand, this is, by the way, happening. That is why there are so many splits happening in our relationships and marriages. This is happening currently in our reality, where the masculine who has been distorted for so long, we can't blame them. They also had to. And when I say masculine, right now, I mean in a person, not in energy. I'll come to the energy part also. So the masculine have been in such distortions because that's what they have been taught, that's how they have been brought up, that's how they have been conditioned. And the feminine is now rising. So the masculine is now confused. How am I supposed to, like, what will be love? Because what is love for feminine now is, it kind of goes off the head for a masculine. Okay. And what masculine thinks of love, that this is how I should love my partner, I should love my daughter, I should love my sister, is not enough. So how many of you actually have felt that sudden incompatibility, that sudden, like you're, like you love that person, of course, you have a lot of compassion and care for that person, whoever that person may be, but it's just that you're not feeling contained. That's like the better word to use. You're not feeling contained by them. You're not feeling like they're able to match. Yeah, that's also another way to put it. They are not able to match you in one way or the other, right? So many people have felt that, right? And it is because the times that are coming ahead, according to the channeling that I have done, is when the masculine is not supposed to match. And this is something that the feminine also has to accept, because we are also still looking for matches, aren't we? We are still looking in that partner that one day that person will match. Or if we don't have a partner, we're looking for somebody who can match us at the same level. But the times that are ahead, we are not supposed to have somebody who matches us, but we are supposed to have masculine who can serve us. Because when the feminine, and it is the serving, by the way, I'm not going to change my word, how offensive that may sound, it is serving. And when the masculine serves in love, okay, not because it is less, but because it's so much in love and admiration of what she is becoming. And so beautifully, I'm seeing that also happening in the people that I know, in the clients that I have worked with. I'm seeing that there is a sudden shift in the partners, in the brothers, in the boyfriends. And they're like, she let her do what she's doing. They are letting her become what she wants to become. That shift is, I don't know if anybody of you have felt that the husbands or the partners or the friends are like, just let her be what she's doing. If you have felt that, maybe you can give a yes. Yeah. But that has also started to happen. And the coming times are like that. We are circling back. So the coming, and if you think about the image of Kali, have you seen the image of Maa Kali? I'm sure most of you would have seen. Shiva is actually surrendered. Okay. And if you see the image of Tripura Sundari, again, Shiva is like this. You do what you want to do. I'm just lying here, looking at you, admiring you. I'm just being here. So we are not going wrong, actually. We have just been told wrong, but we are now not going wrong. Okay. And this is what we are doing with our work, with the Path of Devi. The first chapter of Path of Devi was about Maa Kali, which was all about coming back to realizing that your body is a freaking temple. Every part of your body, whether it is your voice, your hair, your breasts, your yoni, your navel, every part of it is like a portal. And we talked about it. We did. Anybody who did that practice with us, please let us know in the chat right now. It was such a powerful practice that came through. It involved prana. It involved movement. It involved shaking of energy. It involved dancing. Everything that we would love. Okay, very, very powerful. Somebody, I think Pooja is actually around here. Yeah. So Pooja actually ended up seeing a great shift in her PCOD and getting her cycles normally just after one practice of that. Okay. And honestly, I don't know how that happened. It's not that I have done some magic. It is the practice. It will do what it has to do. It can sometimes even make you really like surface a lot of darkness, but it is supposed to come out so that it, resolves finally. So we did that in chapter 1. Those of you who couldn't attend it, that is okay. You can still do it. The recording is equally powerful. Many people think that, oh, but it should have been in live, but that's not the case. Many of you in the group actually did it later, in recording, and they also said the same message, that it was powerful and blah blah blah. So that is the first chapter that we did, which is with the Maa Kali. I'll try to show you a quick glimpse of it. The second chapter that is going to come now is Makamaka, where we are, kind of, without any derail, we are just getting into the womb. And trust me when said this, when I say this, in the last few weeks, I have channeled like insane amount of information, which you can't read, you can't find in scriptures. It is not meant to be. I was actually talking to Devi in my meditation. I was like, whatever you're giving me, Ma, it's like, how will people believe me? It's not there. It's like not written. And she's like, yeah, because you are supposed to be the book, and not just you. Every woman and her womb is a holy scripture. When she taps into it, she realizes things about the world, about herself, about energy that nobody can tell her because it is not written. And trust me, that day I was like, the whole night I was crying. Like, oh my God, what have you told me? Full drama happened that night. But I'm really excited to share whatever is going to happen. And whoever has joined Makamaka workshop, you will see the magic. If you have not, please do reach out and join. We can give you EMI option also if money is the issue. We already have 100 women signed up for it. So it's not that, I'm trying to go, "Oh, please join." It's just that I know it's going to be amazing for you. So let me show you very quickly, and then we'll come to the questions. Okay. So this is supposed to be a Q&A. And the Q&A will revolve around those women who have done the Kali chapter, and also for those who just want to know um, what's happening with Shakti. Why am I feeling this way? What is happening with women? What is there in the menstrual cycle? What is the wisdom around it? So I'll just quickly show you. This was the presentation that we had in Kalima workshop. Um, we are currently in chapter 2. Chapter 1 has already happened on 21st of June, Awakening the Body. This is chapter 2 that we are going to be doing, from Kama to Kripa. Desires is going to be a big topic. Menstrual cycle, yoni, and all that will be a big topic. Then in August, we'll launch the Matara chapter that will be all about love and the heart chakra. And the chapter 4 is yet to be revealed. So we'll see what happens. And then this is few of the things that happened in the Kali workshop. But anyways, so this is just to give you a glimpse of it. Now let's come back and let's start to take your questions, because in the Kalima workshop group that we had, WhatsApp group, I think there were many questions that went unanswered because we were busy in the Hanuman sadhana. So I'm just gonna, just a second. So you have to just raise your hand when you want to ask a question, and or if you want to ask a question. Just a little advice, even though, let's say, you don't have to ask a question, and if you're just here, trust me, when you will hear the answers of the other people also who are asking, the other women who are asking, you will get something that is supposed to be heard by you. Maybe you don't know that yet, but it will happen. Okay. So you can raise your hands. We'll take questions from there. After some time, we'll take questions from the chat. So this hand thing will be open for some time. Then we'll shift to chat to make sure that most of the questions are answered. Okay. All right. So let's ask Varu to unmute. Can you unmute yourself, Varu?
I just did. Good evening. Hope you're doing well.
Yes.
I had a quick question. I think what you're doing is very magnificent. I did that Kali thing twice, and I'm planning to do it one more time before the
Hmm.
Makamaka session. So you do feel a lot of changes. One question I had there's a post that I read on your platform. It was something about women. So the question that I have is there a reason that some women are not blessed with a daughter because they are the one who have to clear the lineage or maybe do the work that needs to be done, and they don't transfer it to the other person? Like, is that the reason?
Interesting. I'm smiling because I was asking this question like 2 days back in my
Okay.
channeling. So, yeah, so I'll tell you. So the womb, what I have heard, I'll share with you. So the womb is something that is almost like a portal or machine for that matter, to very loose
Mm-hmm.
it, and it is going to decide according to the 7 walls that I have little bit talked about in the on Instagram post. So according
Mm-hmm.
to 7 realms of consciousness and the 7 walls, the soul comes, whichever has to come according to the frequency at which the womb is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those women who are supposed to break a very strong feminine lineage wound or heal
Mm-hmm.
a very strong feminine, they will bring a daughter.
Okay.
They will bring a daughter because because that can happen when, like, the next generation is involved. It kind of amplifies the effect of it, the power of it. Okay.
Okay.
But does that mean that the sons or the mothers who are bringing son is any lesser? No. It is just that their work is not through the feminine. They're still healing the feminine, but they can do through the masculine. Their opportunity is there because the boy that has come will have a lot of distorted masculine energy in him because of the realm that we are entering. So
Mm-hmm.
her work is with the masculine, even though it will eventually lead to healing the feminine lineage because he will grow up to become a container. So both of them are equally important, but the impact is more when it is a daughter. That is for sure. The ancestral baggage is very heavy when it is a daughter, and it has to be done. And if it is both, then you can imagine you can imagine the work that can come through the potential of it.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Hope that answered your question.
That does, but there's still so many more questions around it, like, because it's a never-ending topic, right? Like if I'm a mother and I have a daughter, I have a son right now, but if I have a daughter, like, do I pass on? Because you can't finish all the work in one lifetime. There is so
No, you're
much that needs
supposed
to be
to.
done.
No, you're supposed to pass on, Var. If a daughter has to come through you, you are
Mm-hmm.
supposed to pass on because that soul
Okay.
has already chosen that this is my work. You are not passing.
Yeah.
She has chosen already that I'm going to
But
come and I'm going to do this work.
when you walk this path, you really don't want to pass it on. You know what I mean? Like even if I have a son, I
Hmm.
want to do my part so that he doesn't have to carry the baggage of the lineage in any which way,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But it's a tricky path to walk on because he will has his own story to tell, right?
Of course, of course. That is
So
when we have,
maybe you can lessen the burden, but you can't really take it off.
you don't need, are not supposed to take it off. If a soul is
Okay,
coming, they are supposed to clear their own karmic impressions. And who are
true.
we to enter? And that is just
There,
to control the reality. Again, something that we are not supposed to do,
true.
right? So,
Yeah.
as parents, it's very important. I know that comes up to me a lot that, like specifically with, I have seen with some parents who have, let's say, got into a divorce, the mothers
Mm-hmm.
face this burden with the guilt that, what kind of experience I have given to my child. And this has happened
True.
so many times. I've been asked this question so many times. And I'm like, who are you to think you have given it? The soul already chose I'm going to be, birthing in this family. I'm going to be coming here. I'm going to be experiencing this because it is part of my soul journey. You just
True.
contributed to it. So, so,
Yeah.
so yeah,
No, thank you.
step away from the control. You'll actually be able
Mm-hmm.
to help a lot if you step away from control.
Okay, understood. No,
Hmm.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So the next question is going to be by Riddhi. Riddhi, can you hear us? Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Hello, can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I heard
Okay, there's some network issue. Hmm. There's some
you are a
network issue.
book and needs to come through you, and others need to know the power. So it's a very overwhelming.
Uh, Riddhi, can you share your question in the chat because we are not able to hear you properly. Shweta, if you're around, can you write that to Dr. Riddhi in the chat? I think Shweta is around. I hope she is around. Shweta or Harkamal, I can see. Harkamal, can you
Feel
please do?
this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Sorry, I'm
hear now.
traveling. So
Yeah, okay.
okay,
So the
one
question
second.
is going
Can you
on.
hear me now?
Ha, now we can hear you. Hmm.
Okay. So I was saying what you shared about womb,
Hmm.
that you know it's like you are a book
Hmm.
and it comes through you, and also we all need to be aware of our womb. And
Hmm.
so it was a very overwhelming sentence for me,
Hmm.
and it gave my life a new meaning. Uh,
Hmm.
Also, while um, I'm a mother of a son,
Hmm.
and I feel more responsible. I feel if I was a mother of a daughter, it would have been easier. But because I'm a mother of a son, it is my responsibility that he's raised to as a way that he loves, respects, and cares for
Hmm.
himself, and then
Hmm.
that will spread through him.
Hmm.
So, imagining anything else would be very difficult for me.
Hmm.
Uh, and also, I came in this session, I mean, because I knew you're going to enlighten us. I would like to ask about, so Kamyaka, Ma Kamyaka session is coming. So if
Hmm.
you can just put a light on it, that what is it about? And
Hmm.
so I have attended the Kalima session. It was very powerful for
Hmm.
me. I did the recording,
Hmm.
and the meditation was very powerful. It was as if you are live. I mean,
Hmm.
as if it was a live session. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the other three chapters,
Hmm.
and I would just like to know more about Kamyaka Ma session.
Hmm.
Not that it's just curiosity,
Hmm.
and the also the thing is, uh, how much time does it take for a wound to heal?
Hmm.
I mean,
Good.
how much time and how do we know?
Hmm.
So my question would be, when do I know that my ancestors are now free, and I've helped them,
Hmm.
uh, and uh, they can attain liberation through me. So what are the signs? I would like to know a little bit.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So let's answer that first. Um, Number one, the question that you, not question, but the sharing that you did, that it feels like a bigger responsibility now to nurture a son. And I understand where that is coming from. Um, but whether it is a son or a daughter, I'm sure as parents, most of you who are parents here would know this, that no matter what you want to teach your child, the child will learn what it sees. And because they're so attached to the mother, like literally biologically in all senses, energetically also, um what kind of decisions you take in your life, how you talk to people, how you command yourself, what kind of boundaries you set, is going to be very significant in how they grow up. So, just a little reminder before I come to the questions for everybody, actually, that whenever we are dealing with children, remember we are supposed to embody and not teach. That is very important. Okay. Now, coming to the questions. So, I'll first cover this question, which is, what are the signs? And it's very interesting because so Dr. Rithi is a gynac, and she's somebody who has been trying to integrate the ancient practices also in the process of birth, which is, I feel that is so amazing. So being a gynac, yes, this interests you, Dr. Rithi, and I'm sure for others also. See, first of all, what I have understood from the womb healing process is that it's not something that we are healing, even though we say it like that for understanding, but we are actually activating. And what I was told, that there are 7 layers of activation that the womb goes through, those 7 walls that I have talked about earlier in Instagram post. So each wall or each activation takes you to a different kind of awareness. So, for example, the first wall, which is, let's say, the root chakra wall, to kind of loosely put it, that wall is all about connecting with the body and honoring the body and accepting the body. So, the first sign is that you will find yourself being in love the way you are in your body. You'll find yourself honoring your body when your womb starts to heal. And how would you honor that body? It's going to be in the way you see yourself, it's going to be what you put in your body, it's going to be the way how you treat it, all of that. So that is the first subtle sign that you will see that your womb is. And of course, physical sign, like for example, menstrual issues are, if there are, they will be gone, etc., etc. The second level to this process is your emotions, because sacral chakra comes in the second wall. So you will feel much more stabilized, anchored, and aware of your emotions rather than letting them take over you. That is going to be the second sign. And how many of us actually end up losing ourselves in emotions and saying something or doing something that we didn't want to? So that's another sign. Similarly, it goes through 7 layers. So let's say after second, there is third, that is the solar plexus. You will you'll be someone who's so aware of their own power that there will be very less space left for self-doubt. So these are the subtle signs in which you can see. Now, when you start to go a little bit further, because I know few women who have been working with us for a very long time in the last, I think, 2 years, I know that they have taken their journey a little bit more ahead. So now they have started to channel. They are channeling things. Unknowingly, they're getting information. Like they're getting information on their past life, they're getting information on Devis, they're connecting with them. Okay. So they have become some, more than that. So that's like when you start to upgrade from the a heart chakra level to higher third eye and all that. So that is activation. And it is better to see it like that rather than seeing it as something that you're trying to fix. Okay. But the ancestral plane, which I have talked about earlier, is somewhere around the third wall, which is the solar plexus and the heart chakra. So once the womb reaches that level, your ancestors are like, yeah, we are taken care of now. We can go, you continue your process. And it ends with Paramatma or Parashakti. When you start to feel that you're one with that, that is when it ends. Because it's not just you're healing a part of your body, no. You're doing a spiritual journey in these 7 levels through your womb. Okay, so that is to the extent that it can go. Was there any other question? Yeah, Makamaka. So, Makamaka workshop, if I have to put it, I am going to be talking about these 7 walls in much more detail because honestly, there's so much that you need to know. You really need to know because when I got to know, I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm holding in myself. So we're going to be talking about why we choose to be born in a woman's body and not a man. That is like one of the most important questions, right? We chose this vessel. Why? What is the reason? And this question came to me when I was really like messed up. I was facing some menstrual issues, like not menstrual issues actually, but my mood swings were happening before my menstruation. And out of anger, I was just telling my partner on phone that, you know what, it's a curse to be in a woman's body. We have to go through all this birth process and we have to go through this period and everything. I hate it. I was full angry. At that time, suddenly I realized, why am I saying this? Why am I saying it's a curse? I don't believe in it. I, in fact, teach the opposite. What is wrong? So then I went back to my, self-reflection, meditation, etc., etc., and then I realized that there is something that has to be. And that's when my question came, like, why did I choose to be in a woman's body? Or why I chose the kind of body that I have? Maybe a little heavier for somebody, maybe a little leaner for somebody, maybe a little short. Why? So those questions are also going to come in the workshop. And then of course the 7 walls, womb, yoni, very important. Yoni is the doorway to your womb. If you want to, like some journals, some diaries, they have a key. They give you a key, and when you unlock the key, then the diary opens. So like that, your yoni and your navel, these are the 2 keys through which the womb opens. But sadly, we have been told to objectify and make it something else altogether, thanks to the media that we consume, when it is not that. It is completely opposite of that. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about all that. And of course, we are going to do a womb activation. We'll try to do a 7-layer womb activation if that is supposed to come through Makamaka. We'll be connecting with Makamaka. We'll be connecting with Tripura Sundari, and we're going to be connecting with little bit, maybe some of you will also feel a connection with Ma Parvati during this process. We're purposely doing it around Tej because Ma Parvati actually converted her desire into devotion, and that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, experiencing oneness with the Parmeshwara. So all of that will happen. There is going to be an ancient tantra practice that I have channeled and that I will share with all of you. That is going to be around prana work, which is like breath work, kind of a breath work, but with movement. There's also going to be some womb-based exercises that will be shown to activate the process, and then of course more. So there's so much more, but to kind of give you a little bit of summary, this is what will happen in the Makamaka workshop. And of course, we'll connect with Makamaka. That is like given. Yes, Ma Sita also. I'm so glad somebody said that, actually. I'm so glad you said this. Because when I was channeling, I felt a very strong presence of Ma Sita. Very strong presence of Ma Sita. And her story. So yeah, so that's also going to come. Anyways, okay. So hope that answered. Let's Let's go to the other person who is next, Amrita. Okay. Can you unmute yourself? Try again.
Am
Yeah.
I audible?
Yes, you
Am I
are.
audible now? Um,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So first of all, I'm first time. Like I have done few meditation, but it's the first time I'm going to attend the workshop of yours. So first I'm just more interested like how this channeling happens. All these things are new, especially the channeling part.
Hmm.
I just want. I'm curious like is it through meditation and how like I want to know your journey. But if everyone is just in a quick way, if you can share this like how you came into this path and
Oh, my
working and
journey. Okay. Hmm.
just curious to know. I got to know about it, but like I haven't attended the workshop, so I just was curious to know how this part came and
Okay.
curious. And second thing is like I from childhood I'm into spirituality, but somewhere it got cut. And after my daughter is born, I think like whatever I have heard due to that, I just came back into spirituality, and I have done other modality like healing and also. And now I'm more interested, and I have started my journey of awakening. So now I'm more interested in doing different modalities and going more and more into these things.
Mm.
So I just wanted to know that, so that is my question is like about.
Sure. Okay. All right. So my journey. Okay. You know why I never share it in any of my workshops and courses properly? Because I feel I'll bore people. That is why I never share it. Like it will be boring. But I get it. And there's also I have this deep fear of falling into ego. That is why I try not to talk about myself so much. That is also coming from a place of like, like I have to do healing around it. But anyways, so my journey, see, I was always like this, honestly. Always wired, like since childhood. I remember when I was 5, 6 years old, and somebody around my neighborhood, like one of some neighbor, his brother passed away, and it was around. I think he was maybe 35 or something. And as a 6 year old, since that time, I was very interested in death. What happens after that? I remember I couldn't sleep like many nights as a child, thinking, "Kahan jaungi main? What will happen when I'll die?" So I used to have these kind of questions back then. It is really crazy, but I used to have those kind of questions. And when that incident happened, it really kind of triggered something in me. So one day, what I did was, in my childhood, what was there that my mom told me that Sai Baba is my brother. Okay, because I had a twin brother who couldn't survive after birth. So that is why my mother's, out of her love, she said that, this is your brother. So what I used to do it, I used to talk to Sai Baba's photo, go him, and this is what is happening, what happens after death, blah blah blah. One day when I was talking, and I don't know if it was a child's fantasy, imagine, I don't know. I felt like I am hearing something in my mind, like somebody's answering. And because a child, you can believe anything. If it would have happened today, I would be like, what nonsense. But for a child, you're like, oh, this is happening. Sai Baba is talking to me. So then I started to channel, and I started to write those things in a really bad, like English or Hindi, whatever. And I used to show to my mother. That's how actually I began. That happened to me for 3, 4 years, the channeling. After a few years, when I turned 10, 11, around that, then it went. I was like, okay, fine. Then after many, many years, when I was doing my work, I was in advertising in Mumbai. Nothing felt interesting. Yeah, like everything felt like I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I was completely lost. And there were many other things also, like kind of crumbling down. That's when I started to hear messages again, as if whenever I asked a question, I got an answer in my mind. And I knew that it is not my voice, because I know I don't have so much wisdom. I have not read so many books, so it could be some other person who's talking to me. So I started from that. I started again channeling again, writing again. I found a book. I remember it was a book by Brian Weiss. Many masters, many something. I forgot exactly the name. So that book, it described the entire journey of what happens after this life, blah blah blah. And I remember that I channeled something very similar as a child. Like I remembered my journal when I used to write, and it was exactly what I have channeled. So then that kind of shook me, that how did I write all of this as a 5-year-old? My mother still had my bad at writing papers and all that. So there I was like, okay, I have something I need to channel. Then I started connecting with few people, and actually it happened in a party. I was in a party. By this time I was in Bangalore, and I was sitting next to a friend. He was much more younger to me. I was looking at him, and I just told him that why are you so worried about your father? He will be fine. And I did not know this, that he has something going on, and he got like a little bit scared. So from that time I realized that I can know things about people just by looking at them. That's how soul scan happened, by the way. Those of you who have taken my soul scan, they will know. So that's how soul scan happened. I started to get information about people without knowing a single thing about them. I just need to know their name, and that's it. That's how soul scan is done now. So then I started this more and more. I have not got any kind of training in this. I started doing tarot without any training, blah blah blah. Cut to now, when so this was all going on, and then one day I was sleeping. I was very disturbed about something, because I started seeing spirits around me, and literally like seeing them, and it was very scary. And I was hardly like 22 years old or something, so it was really scary. I couldn't sleep and everything. I was like, oh, what is happening with me? And it almost felt like a depression. um and then one night at 3:30 or 4, I don't know, I don't remember. At that time I remember that I suddenly woke up from my sleep, and I'm saying this on camera. I saw that Maa Kali standing in front of my door, the room. And I saw her in her entire, like the entire form, like all her, like she didn't leave her outfit. She could have changed, right? Like I got scared because her outfit is like too much. But, and I didn't see her properly, but I saw that she is there, like in a little bit of darkness. And I tried to move myself because I got scared, because before this, I never connected with Maa Kali. At that time, I was just doing some own stuff like tarot reading and blah, blah, blah. And that's when I was like, hey, why am I not able to move? And I just saw her looking at me, and I felt her smell. I clearly remember this. I felt her smell. Great, everybody has that. Thankfully, I'm not the only one. Good, because this could truly can make you feel like, what is wrong with you? But then that was happening. And then from that moment, I knew that I have to connect with Maa Kali. I started talking to Maa Kali in my meditation. Of course, a lot of it is biasness. Of course, a lot of what I hear is my own thing also. But a lot of it is, I know, not mine, because I have never read on chakras. I have never read on Kundalini. I have never read on anything like that. Now I have, like last a year or so, I've bought books because I should read also. So started getting information, and when I used to Google, I was like, hey, it's already there. Where am I getting all of this from? So then the faith built up. Maa Kali was the one who brought me out of that dark period when it was so difficult, everything like spirits and everything. So she brought me out of that. She cut through the illusions. And since then, it has been a ride, honestly. I've been connecting with different forms of divine, whether it is Maa Kali, whether after that Krishna came, Shiva came, Hanumanji came, Neem Kurli Baba came, Anand Mahima came, Ramana Maharshi ji came, and so many other actually in between, Narayana, Bhairav, Kal Bhairav ji. So that has been, and also some other divine beings like, some teachers, ascended masters. So that has how it has been, and I have been channeling. Um, so yeah, okay. So I hope that answers. I hope that answers your question. And what was the other question that you asked?
Yeah, so how does the channeling happen? Is it like through meditation, like we get,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you. So what I used to do is, because I haven't learned it, so there's no particular way that I used to do. But what I used to do is I just tried to ground myself first, imagining that Hanumanji is like kind of around me, to kind of build that ground. And it works, by the way. I'm giving you a process, by the way. So it works. So you imagine that Hanumanji is like kind of around, holding your body and holding you. And you have to imagine then your light is coming out of your navel, and it is kind of reaching up and shooting from here, from the crown chakra, going up, 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 higher in the realms. And then I would just say that, I want to connect with Maa Kali, help me connect with Maa Kali. And I would imagine Maa Kali. So my imagination was only till I will imagine the deity, I'll imagine the divine form coming, and I'll just start asking or talking, and then I'll hear certain things in my mind. Initially, if you're doing this, it will feel like you are making this up. It's okay. Everything is made up, everything is Maya. So you just let it happen for some time. You do it like for 10 times, 15 times a month. After some time, you'll start to understand the difference between what actually you're making up and what is coming through them. Because what you will make up, it will be like thought. You will have like stops, pauses, that this is what it is, and then you'll pause. But when they start to give you information, it comes like this one straight, like one straight thought, and it doesn't have any pauses. And when they come give you information, um it's very like short, crisp and clear. It just comes like a whisper and leaves. That is the difference that you will start to notice if you're somebody who channels. Okay, yeah, don't randomly, many of us do, and everybody can do. That's the whole point. Everybody can channel, only if you're aware of it, because this is not something which is a gift. Many people think it's a gift, but I also thought the same for a very long time, but it's not a gift. It is like how you can walk, you can channel. Okay, that is how it is. I did have a channeling course, two years or 1.5 years back, but right now we don't have any courses like that. Probably in the near future, after the Devi path is ended, in Navratri, maybe by the end of the year we'll do some channeling course also.
Yeah, please do, ma'am. I'm very interested to join
I
the
know,
course.
I know.
Thank you so much, sir. Like your meditations are really powerful, so that's why I'm interested to connect with you more.
Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, it's difficult to trust. I know. That is the thing about channeling, by the way. You need to trust. That's all you, and you can channel. Yes. Yes, Pooja.
Hello, ma'am. As I already said, I have had a marvelous experience with the session one of
Yeah.
Kalima. And by the way, I got to know my Ishta Devata is Kalima
Oh.
after, yeah, in your manifestation course, the first meditation. It's then that I
Oh.
discovered. So, like, I get goosebumps even now remembering it. So, I always was like, you either believe in yourself
Mm,
or you believe in your teacher the most. And that works for me. So I
mm,
believe in you a lot. So
mm,
what you said about the daughter, it's very true because I conceived a daughter through very unreal circumstances. Like if I think about it now, it's very illogical. Everything that happened, the way it happened. I already asked the question I think twice or thrice till now, which I will after like it's my last question. So in regards to that. Um, yeah, so I hadn't had menses. I'm telling the experience. I hadn't had the menses for like 6 months. Even before that, it was like 45 days, after 60 days, like that. But this time, after doing the session once, and it was recording, by the way, it was so awesome. In my head, I was like, I am turning more beautiful. And the feeling is very different. So it worked. It really worked well. And after doing the session, I do the daily Kali sadhana, by the way. It has
oh.
some steps, yeah. But now how I conceive Kalima is very different. Like I never saw her as figure, never. But I always feel her in my sadhana. But after doing that session, I can't explain, but I don't feel her in that way. It's a very very compassionate. It's a very affectionate figure. Before also she was never furious, yeah.
Yeah.
But now she's very different. I'm still not able to explain. I'll figure near time. Um, and whatever you told about the masculine, it's so true even in my case. Like masculine, I always felt that we don't connect only, my
Mm,
husband and I. And after starting the journey of spirituality, which happened too much after conceiving my daughter, as if the gates opened. Before I was very much inclined, and the baby is also like without even explaining her anything. Like I never introduced her to Devi forms as such, and she already knew the names. She already said things that spooked me. Actually, it's like today Devi is coming, and it's not blabbering. It's very. She says those things in a very different tone. Like normal bud is very different, and that is very different. So I'm thankful to that. And I wanted to ask the question, and which is true for many people around me. And I'm getting this, like, you had said this in previous of your sessions, that masculinity these days is very different. Wounded masculine is very common as well, along with the feminine. But these days, husbands have turned so asexual. Like many female friends, yeah, I know that it's such a common thing. Like it's as if having a meal, right? It's a natural sensation, it's a natural need. But not just physical intimacy, even looking at your partner lovingly, or wanting to touch lovingly, anything, hugging lovingly, or even a normal touch, like it's just not there. You can't explain it, but it's not yet there. We asked for consultations, all of us, all we friends, nothing worked as such. And basically I think it's something else. Maybe yeah, the spirituality or the Devi's saying to turn it the other way, but I don't know how. What are the ladies supposed to do with all that sexual desire, especially if someone has Mars in the first house? They say the sexual desire is very high in that. I don't know if it's how much it's true, but yeah. How are we going to deal with this? How is the lady supposed to deal with this?
Interesting. I'm so glad. Before I actually add the answer, I just want to say that Pooja, I remember when she used to join her courses. I think she has joined from a year, almost a half in a year back, more than a year. So I don't remember her speaking so fearlessly and confidently. And I can definitely see Maa Kali working for you, because you are so like authentic right now. And I love that. I love that. It is actually a sign of healing womb. Somebody asked that earlier. So okay, anyway, so coming to I remember this has been asked by some other woman also before. Yes, because I was mentioning the masculine distortion, there is actually, there's a reason behind it. It has been very divinely planned. um so there are two ways to it. What I have heard is, one way to this is that because the Shakti has to rise. When I say Shakti, here I don't mean the Kundalini, but I mean the feminine energy. So, because the feminine is rising and the feminine lineage is rising, more than energy, the feminine lineage is rising. For that lineage to rise, the lineage that believes that body is a vessel for awakening and not something to abandon, that lineage, for that lineage to rise, it is very important for women to be able to respect and channel their sexual energy. Okay, something that we're going to touch a lot in the Kamakya workshop also. But Kamakya workshop is going to be a lot about the sexual energy, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So, for the sexual energy to rise, okay, because if you might have heard, some of you might have heard this, that when the sexual energy goes downwards, then it is just release. And when the sexual energy goes upwards, then it takes you to awakening. Okay, so the reason why there is some distance that has been crafted by Devi itself, by Mahamaya itself, is because women are now supposed to, specifically those who are already in this path, who know a little bit, it's easier for them. They're supposed to awaken their sexual energy and make it rise, make it channel above, for them to go onto a higher frequency, for them to ascend. So they're supposed to use the sexual energy. And one way to use that is actually the womb practice that we are going to do in Makamaka workshop. Because the womb practice that we are going to do in the Makamaka workshop will not feel like you're doing healing. It will, but I mean, for a lack of a better word, it will feel like you're making love to yourself. It will feel like your sexual energy is rising and activating, but at the same time, it will not feel like sinful. It will not feel like you're doing anything wrong. And the one who is going to be guarding this process with Makamaka is going to be, of course, Shiva. So you will feel the presence of Shiva, and he is the one who will help you to have that kind of an experience. The divine masculine will step in to help you that kind of, with you, with that kind of experience. So one perspective that I got from my channeling is that it is supposed to happen because of this. It is happening because of this. Because what will happen is, if you end up having a physical experience with a male partner who is at a much more lower frequency, your frequency will get pulled down. Okay, it will affect you, it will impact you. Yes, there are ways to come out of it again, but then it's going to be a difficult, because if you will keep going on and off and on and off, oscillating, when will you move forward? So there, and this is going to happen for many of those women who are awakening. It is happening for the good. Okay, and another thing is because it is also something that they are projecting, because they have awakened to the fact that my body is supposed to be honored, but the male counterpart hasn't. And what they think of intimacy is something just to give themselves pleasure, rather than honoring the temple, the body of a woman. Because, if you go to some really forgotten Tantra books, you will find that a woman's body is supposed to be honored and not supposed to be used for your own pleasure. Okay. But sadly, even the most nicest men, not that they are some creep or something like that, but they are not aware of how they can do it. And that is creating that, distance. So I would suggest, Pooja, for specifically because you are on this path, the Kamakya workshop will actually give you exactly what you need. It will give you the womb practice that will help you feel so blissful. That kind of bliss when you experience when you're making love to yourself, that kind of bliss, but without any physical experience involved, without any sin involved, but you will still feel the bliss. That is the magic of tantric practices, by the tantra practices. Okay, so that is what I would, and actually, if somebody does that, they will look much more younger to their age if they practice that, because the ojas that you call, I don't know how many of you have heard of ojas, but the ojas starts to come, and wow, it makes you really attractive. It makes you really attractive from your frequency. Okay. And of course, if the men needs to come out of the lower frequency, they are supposed to work on their distorted masculine energy, which sometimes can also happen if the feminine is working. Sometimes that can happen. In few situations, I've seen that the men has naturally learned out of nowhere how to respect her body, just because she has started to do so. So that transition could be slow, but it can happen. Okay. Yes, ma'am, in my look change. I can see that too. I remember. I remember that. Yeah. Okay. I hope that answered your question, Pooja. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I'm so glad people are talking about all of this. It's so important. Otherwise, when we think about spirituality, we just bypass everything else as if that is not spirituality. But we are talking about it. Good. Okay. Who else has to ask? Lavina. Lavina, are you around?
Yeah.
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 So
Hi, Shivangi.
hi, Lavina. Can you just give me a second? Somebody
Yeah.
asked for Makamaka workshop, so I'll just share the link here. And channeling course, currently we do have a recorded one, but I would honestly suggest that you do it live when it happens. You'll enjoy it. That is the only course that I will suggest to do live, because you will enjoy a lot when it happens. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, Shivangi. So first of all, I attended the Kali workshop recording, and it
Hmm.
was amazing. Like it was very liberating, actually. And actually, I got my periods 1 week earlier. I know we were discussing in the group also, but I didn't practice it again. And also, I tried to not practice because next week I'm going to Vrindavan, and I don't want to have that in back at the back of my mind that I'm having periods. I don't believe too much in it. I mean, I think that it's okay to go to the temples, but still it's a bit uncomfortable, right? So that's why I didn't practice that much. But I'll do it after coming back. And also I'll do the Kamakya one also with recording. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, I think Pooja asked one of the things that why do we have the desires and what to do with the unmet dreams and desires?
Hmm. Hmm. So we're supposed to. It's so interesting. This happens every time. Whenever I do a Q&A session, even though I have not particularly linked it with that workshop, the question that you all start asking becomes about the next workshop that I'm going to do. I don't know how this happens,
Right.
but This question is very interesting because we are going to cover this also in the Makamaka workshop. Um, See, the unmet desires, na, they are gold when it comes to spiritual journey. Okay. Wherever you have an unfulfilled desire, oh my God, that is like the best thing to use, the best thing to use in your spiritual journey. Because when you have an unfulfilled desire, let's actually decode this. Okay. I'm giving a little bit more information that I will cover in workshop also. But because there's a question like this, let's actually talk about it. Let's decode what is an unfulfilled desire. An unfulfilled desire is almost like something happened in your sacral chakra is where most of the desires come from. So in Swadhisthana chakra or sacral chakra, the desire came and it is waiting. It is waiting to be manifested. What else waits in our body to become manifested? You know already, right? So every month, just before our menstrual cycle, there's something waiting in us to be manifested, right? Now, when that doesn't happen, what happens next? Okay.
Release.
We release, right? That energetic egg or code, whatever you want to say. I like to call it the energetic egg, but that will release. Now, when it releases, what is actually releasing is that when when a desire has occurred, it means that it has already the codes in which it can be manifested. Like for example, let's say I'm trying to make this bottle out of clay. Okay. So now, no, actually, this probably not be the best. Let me take another example. Let's say I'm trying to create a website. Before I launch the website, the codes have to be ready. Whatever, whoever who does a little bit of coding, they'll know the coding has to be ready so that it gets published. Even if you have not published it yet, the codes has to have to be ready. Okay. Now it's waiting whether the website will be published or not published. It's exactly like that. The codes are already there. What are these codes when there is a desire? What are these codes? These codes are your karmic patterns. Because the desire has come out of a pattern. It just cannot come out like that. There has been some backing to it, some karmic conditioning to it. That is how it has come. So all of this has become this beautiful egg that is waiting. And when it is not manifested, it releases. So what is released is actually your karmic patterns, your karmic baggages. Okay. And what happens when karmic baggage is released? Awakening, rebirth. Okay. That is why whenever there is a desire that is unfulfilled, it can be used to convert it into penance. Penance is waiting. Parvati Ma is waiting. When will you come? I'm meditating. Kab se? What are you doing? Shiva is waiting. Like that, the wait is very significant because it is the wait when you realize a lot of things. Isn't that, I'm going to ask everybody here, not just Lavina, just before menstruation is going to come, just like those 3-4 days before it, you become like this suddenly deeply emotional person. A lot of,
I cry a lot.
like, and tears which doesn't make any sense right now, like nothing is happening in your outer reality, but you're crying about something. Sometimes you know what you're crying about, some past thing. Sometimes you're like crying about something which you don't know, right? So that waiting is a period of absolute self-reflection and release, and then the shift happens. So same thing goes for our unfulfilled desires. How we are supposed to um, transcend these unfulfilled desires to use it for our own benefit, for devotion, for awakening, is going to be practice wise taught in Kamakhya workshop, because we are going to be doing exactly the same thing. Okay. But beyond the practice, what else can you do is when this unfulfilled desire comes, like let's say, I'm just going to take an example. Let's say unfulfilled desire is that I want to be um, held in a way that I feel absolute love, and that I feel that I am being wanted, I'm being desired. Let's say that is the unfulfilled desire that somebody holds, a woman holds. Okay. Now, if we go into the self-reflection, the waiting period of the desire, it is that I am wanting to be held. I'm trying to, I want to feel presence. I want to feel that I am accepted, or I am seen, or I am admired. Now, when we direct it to divine. And this is something that Devdasis used to do, by the way. I have talked about in few posts earlier. The Devdasis used to direct all their emotions, whether it is desire, whether it is love, need for being seen, towards the divine form that they're connected with. Let's say in this example, Shiva. So you direct it towards Shiva and you say, Shiva, I want you to make me feel seen. I want you to make me feel admired. And I want you to make me feel through my body. You devote that to Shiva or Krishna or Ram, whoever it is. Okay. So that is one way that you can do consciously, but we will be teaching you a practice in the Makamaka workshop where you will do it energetically and through your body.
Sure. I do that. I dedicate everything to Krishna. Like I
Yeah,
imagine that he is holding me and everything.
yeah, yeah. It is
And
definitely amazing when you do so. Hmm.
one more question I had. So, like, if the purpose of our soul is to be detached from everything, all the bondages, all the expectations, that is what we are here to learn, right? Then why can't we just come in the remembrance of God? Why do we have all the relationships around us? Why all the suffering?
First of all, no, the purpose of the soul isn't to detach. Okay, that's exactly, you have put the answer. If it was meant to be detached, then why will we come here? Because
Yeah.
this is a place that attaches you with everything, right? It attaches you with um let's say the world, the people, the relationships. It attaches you with everything, right?
And there's so much suffering, right?
And
In that
I
attachment.
asked the same. I asked the same question, once to Ma. I think I've shared this in the Divine Inner Circle, the other group that we have. I don't know if you read that answer, but I asked the same question, and then in the same period, I was asking Ma that why are we so attached to your Maya when there is so much suffering in your Maya? Why are we not able to detach? Like itna pain jhelte hain, so much pain we have. We could have just been like, I just want to detach from it. I don't want to live in. But after that also, we are very much hooked to it. Abhi hum log ro rahe honge, we'll be crying, and the other day like, oh, but I have to cook food. Suddenly you will be like cooking food. So then where is how is this like happening? Then there's so much suffering, but I'm still. So I asked this question to Madhuripura when I was doing her sadhana in the last 11 12 days. I was doing some sadhana with Madhuripura Sundari, and during that time I got this answer that you are hooked because you don't want to come out of it. So I said, how? They said, see, we give you two kind of experiences. We give you pleasure, we give you pain. Both can lead to awakening, but you don't let yourself feel either of them fully. So I said, how? So she said, when you experience pleasure, you already have a distance from pleasure that I don't want to feel it fully, but rather I'm busy protecting my pleasure. Or when you have pleasure, you also start to feel guilty. How many of you actually do that? You start to feel guilty for being in pleasure or in happiness. Or you're busy thinking that, oh, this can be, and this is something that you're not doing consciously, of course, but it is already happening in one part of your mind. So you're not letting the pleasure come to you fully. This happens a lot with women. We don't want to feel pleasure. Pain de do jitna dena hai. We have big issues with pleasure. Okay. Cut to the other hand, we have pain. We don't let ourselves feel painfully also. How? When pain comes, within 5 seconds, we'll be like, I have to be strong. I have to be fine. I have to. Suddenly, why? Why can't you just break yourself in pain? वो भी तो नहीं करते ना हम. We don't even let ourselves break in pain. We are like, oh, yeah, no, I have to be fine. I have to come out of this. It is okay. Everything will be fine. We start to giving ourselves motivational speech from Sandeep Maheshwari. Suddenly, that we have to be in, why? And that's what Ma was telling me. And I was like, yeah, this is so right. Whenever pain comes, after like few minutes, I'll be like, this is so sad. Life is so bad. I just want to go back. All will be happening. But suddenly after 10 minutes, I'll be like, no, it's okay. I learned my lesson. Don't learn your lesson. Be in pain. But we can't because something is stopping us. We are not ready to expand fully in pleasure. We're not ready to break fully in pain. What is stopping us then? It is actually our ego, because it knows that the moment we feel extreme pleasure, there is no space left that can fill me more. The moment I feel that, I will be in such eternal bliss that I will be out from this Maya. I'll be completely out of it. The Maya is hanging on these two threads. One is pain, another is pleasure. If you think about it, every action that you do is motivated by either pain or pleasure. You either want to be happy or you don't want to be sad. So you want to run away from pain and you want to go to pleasure. But when you go to pleasure, you don't want to feel that fully. So you again come back to pain, but you fear pain. So then you again come back to pleasure and you're oscillating. You're going from one direction, but you're never going anywhere else. Have you ever wondered why it is cyclic? Why Mars, everything is like cyclic, even the yantra and everything? Because it is cyclic, you're just round and round and round. You're not coming out of it like the Kundalini rises. It comes out, it comes in straight line, it's gone. So it is because we are not letting ourselves full. Now, when we come to pain, what will happen if we feel pain? This happened with Ramana Maharshi, by the way. If anybody knows his story, this happened with Ramana Maharshi. When he felt pain fully, he was too much scared of his death. That pain will suddenly break you and you'll realize, wait, I can't feel pain anymore. And this happens as a realization. And then you realize, who am I if I can't feel pain anymore? This happened with Ramana Maharshi. He was so scared of death, so scared that one day he's like, you know what, I'm just going to live my death now. And he had some fever or something. I forgot exact story, but he went and he lied down. He's like, I'm going to leave my body. And he tried to stop his breath. And in few moments, because he really went down with not breathing, he felt like he has come out of his body. And he's like, hey, I'm still alive. I'm still there. Not in my body, but I'm still there. And that's how his awakening began. That is how he became a guru. But we don't let ourselves feel both of them fully. So the role of Maya is to, it's like, you know, in Hindi, we used to have these stories called Panch Tantra. I don't know how many of you know about it. But every story of Panch Tantra used to give us a lesson at the end. This Maya is to make you see through it, not to letting you keep, you know, round and round and round. And it is without, so it's very important. This is a story around Shiva also. Then Shiva said that, what is the need of food? He said to Devi. And Devi was like, okay, fine, I'll take away everything. And she got really angry and she kind of withdrew herself, came back, you know, from manifestation. And suddenly everyone on the planet was like, oh, hunger, hunger, hunger. Everything was gone. Everything was going back to nothingness. And that's when Shiva realized and he came, I'm really sorry. And Annapurna was part of it. So that's when this story has been given us to make us realize that without the mirror, how will you know who you are? You know the Maya to know who you are. And Maya is the mirror that makes you do so, until unless you are aware that it is a mirror and not a separate person altogether. But what we think is, when we see somebody, we think he's a separate person, she is a separate person, when that person is a reflection of our own self. And that awareness takes us bhakti, takes us devotion, takes us the chanting of Radha Krishna, takes us Bhagavad Gita, to kind of come to that realization that, oh, Maya is a mirror to make me know myself. Without the mirror, Shiva is Shava. Without Maya, Shiva is Shav. It is the E, the Shakti, you know, that brings the Ikar, that is which we say. It brings from Shav to Shiv, from nothingness to something. Without that, there is nothing. So that is the role of Maya. And it can help you go beyond it if you just let it completely feel. Like, you know, if you just feel it completely. But we don't. We oscillate from tuck, 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 and we keep doing that. That is them. Did I answer your question?
Yes, definitely. So it's like living in the moment, then we can feel it completely.
Kinda, but it's not that easy. Consciously, you'll try to do living in the moment process.
Yeah.
But your ego will be trying to take you out of the moment. You know, trying to give you all kind of thoughts. No, you don't need to feel the pain. It will get solved. I'll tell you the solution. It will start giving you a solution. And if when you are in pleasure, then it'll say, but can you feel this kind of pleasure? You shouldn't be feeling this. Do you deserve even to feel all of this? All of that will happen.
Yeah,
So,
that's what, like, if we are conscious about it, then like, if suppose if I'm very angry, but then I'm conscious about it, then I'm not angry anymore, right? Then how do I feel it completely?
exactly. You become aware of it. You cannot feel it completely. So that is the thing. So what we can do is actually not something that you can do here when you're feeling the sadness or when you're feeling the pain and all that. It is the spiritual practices that we do that helps us. Like, for example, that day when I said that, you know, it's just a curse to be in a woman's body, and I was really like crying and all of this. But when I cried completely, I was full screaming and everything. And after that crying, suddenly something hit and I realized all of that. But that happened, you know why? Because actually I was doing Tripura Sadhana for last 11 days. And during that time, this happened. So I don't think if I had the sadhana with me, which I was doing every day, I was doing some chanting and all that. I don't think I would have even thought of why this is bothering me so much. Is there something to learn? So it is not something that we can consciously do. That is the point. It is something that we have to be. And to become, you can't do. Okay. Being comes when you are, so here you can't do, but you can do something in your spiritual practices. You can do something that you like, whether it's a chanting Radha Krishna or something else. Then it can happen. And you might have seen that. The more you chant the name of Radha Krishna, the more you will see that your ego is erasing. I'm saying Radha Krishna because Lavina is a big fan of Krishna ji.
Mhm.
So that is why. But this can happen with any other practice also. So that's when. But now, because I have given you this seed of information, now try to play this out. It will. The next time when you feel pain, don't try to, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine." Don't do that. Cry. Feel all the pain. Problem kya hai? Most of the time when we feel this, and it happens a lot when you're in sadhana, by the way. If you're doing any kind of sadhana, whether it is Krishna japa or whether it's something else, you will feel low most of the days. Anybody here doing Hanuman sadhana, they can vouch for it. 5 days they would be feeling, it's so bad. But then what will happen? They'll come to me in the group and they'll be like, Shivangi, I'm feeling bad. How to fix it? Arey, nahi karna hai fix, bhai. Feel bad. But it's so difficult to say that because most of the people will be like, what is the point of doing the sadhana then? You're not doing it to become happy. You're doing to become you. And
It's
happiness,
helping you release. Right?
yeah, it's just making you just becoming you, and you are not just happiness. You are everything. You're all of it. Okay. So
Thank you so much,
So
Shivangi.
yeah. So just so whenever you do the job, na Lavina, this time whenever you feel pain, don't even ask God to help you. Nothing. Don't even ask yourself to teach you something. कुछ तो सिखा रहा होगा मुझे ये lesson में. कुछ मत करो. Don't do it. Just cry, 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 cry. See what happens after your tears don't come out. It will happen. After some time na, your tears will be like, बचा ही नहीं क्या निकलेगा अभी है ही नहीं कुछ. Nothing is there only. And suddenly you will feel this emptiness. That emptiness will completely reduce your ego. Okay, that will help you in the path of awakening. Okay.
Thank you. It's a blessing to have you, Shivangi.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Mm.
Yes, Radhi. If I'm giving too long answers, please let me know in the chat. Okay, I just realized that. Just say like,
Thank,
"Shakti ho gaya."
thank
Okay.
Shivangi.
And
So when I started your courses, like significant changes happened in my life. And
mm,
I don't want to get overwhelmed about it. Like I like real spiritual awake and lot of like it has helped me a lot. But I don't want to get overwhelmed about it because the journey is still to get completed. Rugved, एक minute. Also,
and he is also a participant in all our courses.
every time, every
Every
time,
time, yeah.
whenever
He's-
whenever I starts to speak, he comes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay. And yeah, and Maa Kali entered in my life through my son,
Oh, oh wow.
through you, through my son. Like he was dancing on Maa Kali, and I was like, yeah, what are you doing? Like it is so aggressive, God and all. But then I realized that something it has to be with me, and then I did your Maa Kali this workshop. And then through Maa Kali, a lot of things was happening. Day before yesterday, I got your soul scan also.
Mm.
Okay, and so when my son was born, so from that time my spiritual journey started. Okay, uh, I lost a baby 4 months, 2 years, 1.5 year before. So that was like it was a miscarriage, not a baby basically. So it was a miscarriage, and so during that time also, and it was a girl. And after that, my spiritual journey, it like accelerated a lot. And many significant things happened through the like many significant decisions or whatever. Whenever something happened in the womb or like periods related or some miscarriage, and like 2 times the miscarriages happened. So something significant has happened in my life. And when the second time the miscarriage happened, it was a girl. After that, the female lineage of my family, it suddenly got connected with me. My both the grandmothers, they expired, and yeah, so lot of significant changes have happened. And on 27th, the workshop is there, and I am keeping my fingers crossed because some major decision of my life is going to get happen. So I'm just crossing my fingers about it, and let's see. But yeah, so through the womb, many things has happened in my life. That's what I wanted to share with you. I'm not able to hear you. 1 minute. Shivangi, you are on mute. Ha.
Sorry, sorry. I was saying that I remember doing your soul scan very recently, 2 days back. Lots of revelations, very interesting ones. Very interesting one.
It was like to the point, like, but, and I can make an entire video of what all things, like when you entered in my life, what all things like happened, and I'll make it after a few days.
Yeah, please do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But lot of like major things have happened.
Okay, अभी तो काली माँ घुसी है, अभी देखते जाओ. She has just entered. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Radhi.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Priyanka. So yeah, actually, we are working on our new website, and we have asked many people who have been with us for a long time to do give us videos. If you also want to, please do. Basically, videos on how you have felt when you have connected with us and done some work. That will really help us. We're trying to put some nice kind of thing on our website. Let's see. Yes, Priyanka.
How? Hi, hi, Shivangi.
Hello.
I'm that Priyanka who have been
I know,
commenting on every post that you
I know,
post.
I know which Priyanka you are. Can you?
Your voice is not audible. I think connection is little low.
My voice
Can
is
you
not.
hear me?
I can hear you. Is it? Now I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. So I can, yeah, now it is fine.
Hmm.
So thank you so much for letting me in to this course, first of all.
Yeah. We can hear you, Priyanka. I don't know.
Also,
I think some internet. Yeah. It is something from Priyanka. Okay. Has she logged? I think she got logged off. Okay. Okay. So we'll wait for Priyanka to come. Till then, we'll go for the next person. Sheetal. Thank you, Shanshita. Yes.
Hi, Shivangi, and hi, everyone.
Hello.
I've been attending, hello, I've been attending your courses from last year, and I also have like very significant changes. And when I attended last chapter 1 session live, I could not give any testimony because I don't know what to give. I was like feeling so peaceful, and it was a great experience. Thanks for that. I have 3 questions regarding this path. First question is I've been seeing your posts in Instagram, and I just wanted to know why suddenly we are talking about Shakti, and yeah, there is so much going on in the world as such. And my second question is about the womb, because I am feeling like too much. Suppose I have some intense feeling. It could be love or rage. I feel it's coming from my womb. Just wanted to know why. And sometimes I feel it's not even my feelings. I'm not sure from where it is coming. And I'll just complete my third question. Since we're talking about ancestors, I was wondering, the next session would also heal our ancestor uh, related issues. Yeah, these are my questions. Thank you.
Okay. So the first question that you asked, why we are talking about it, honestly, I was also a little bit flipped because I was not making this kind of content, and suddenly, after this deep period of stagnancy, when Maa Kali came again, um, I started remembering my past lives actually, which were like tantrikas, or I was a yogini, or I was a devdasi. I started remembering those, and like really significantly. And why I'm telling you my story first is because it's kind of connected. So when I thought of that, you know what, this has to be put somewhere outside. And the first post that I posted was about why in the path of spirituality, many women feel arousal. It was that concept. And I just put it out, and the response it got, I was like, and it was not even a reel, it was a normal post. So then I realized that, hey, something is happening. So then I channeled, and what I got is an answer why this is happening. Because if you see, currently there's a lot of work going on with Ma Kali, because the yuga, the energy or the realm, is crumbling, and we are going to a higher dimension, or a higher, you can say, higher frequency, higher state of conscious. In fact, a lot of us have already started to, like, you can say a half of it has already started to enter, others are following it, but it is happening, and it happens as a process of prakriti. We all go through the process of higher consciousness, and then again lower, and then it kind of goes on. Now the reason why, because you can say like a new world is waiting at the door to step in. You can already see the change of it in many different ways, like for example, people trying to turn vegans, or women talking about things that were never talked about. So these are few of the signs for that. But why it is important to focus on Shakti and women, not just Shakti but women, is because if you want to birth a new world, you need a mother's womb. And every mother right now in the collective, even if you're not technically a mother, but you are a Devi, you are a woman, and you have a womb physically and energetically, even if you don't have, but you signed up for it, for your soul contract to come here and contribute to this work. It's not something that is only done for your healing, but you are contributing to what you wanted to do for the collective. And all of us are part of it, okay, in one way or the other, everyone being included. So for the new world to arise, to birth, the women have to be ready. Why? I'll tell you again. Because the children who are coming from the last 10, 15 years, and even now going forward, are going to be, not all of them, but like most of them, are going to be a high vibrational or higher frequency child. And to raise that kind of a child, the mother has to be prepared. Okay. And they have been able to do the work, thankfully, bring that soul. That is why you have probably would have heard so much problem happening around pregnancy and delivery. And it is because of that, because the womb frequency is not matching the kind of soul that wants to come. The frequency isn't in the same place. That is why the inner work has to be done. Yoga is being done. Everything is being done ultimately to contribute to that. And that is why when these new frequency souls will come, these mothers are basically contributing through their womb. They're literally giving their womb for the world, so that when these new frequency souls come, slowly, very slowly, you not see it like how the earth moves. You can't really feel it, but it is happening. You'll see the world shifting. The children who are coming are asking questions that probably we didn't even think of, as you know, when we were young. And in fact, they are coming as messengers. You might find many videos online, even in your own houses. You'll find young children giving you a message, will be like, wow, how did he or she say that? Okay, in my community, I know half of the mothers who I know personally, because they have done some like really long term work with me. I know few of them really personally now. They have come to me and told me that, Shivangi, today, so my child is somebody who dances on Kal, what is that, Shiv Tandav, and then he dances on Kal Bhairav. And then somebody is saying and coming to me and saying that my child remembers the past life, and they say all of this is happening. So it is happening because of that. That is the first thing. And second question, what? Sorry, I forgot the second question. Can you say that again? Just a second. Yeah.
I think it was related to the womb because whenever I have this intense feeling for someone, either it could be anger or love, it's coming from the
Yeah.
stomach or the womb. I feel it's
Yeah. That is going to happen a lot. That is and the rage. I would say the rage that is rising. It shouldn't be projected. Okay, because when you will project that rage on somebody, um, you will actually lose the power of it. So it is not rising to be projected, but it is rising so that you can you can become aware of the truth that you hold. Like for example, let me try to give an example. So let's say I was angry at the curse thing. I'll give you the same example. I was very angry at that time, that why am I born in a woman's body? There's so much complication. Now that rage, if I would have just projected on somebody, I did discuss it with my partner. He did have to listen to all of that. But he is not somebody who kind of, oh, why are you talking? He just listened. He just kind of mirrored it. Now, because we were just listening, I got the opportunity to think about it. That, hey, why am I saying all of this? So technically, I shouldn't have projected there also, but I did that. Then when I came back to my meditation or to whatever self-reflection, I realized that this rage is coming from a life where my feminine lineage that I belonged to was silenced, and I'm supposed to awaken that up. And when I asked Ma that how would I do it, I have no idea of it. She said that whatever was silence is alive in your body, in your tears, in your voices, and not just only for you, Shivangi, but for every woman that is hearing this call. And she will remember this. Her rage will remind her of this. This was the message that I got because of the rage. So it is happening for a purpose, Sheetal. Don't
Mm.
like kind of try to redirect it to becoming calm. Rather, let it rise, but project it in front of maybe a journal or in meditation or in front of Devi. Okay,
okay.
like
Because I have sorry on that question. I just want to add one more line. Is like I feel it's not my anger, and
it is
it's
not.
I live alone, so I cannot show it on anyone. But I'm thinking like a couple of people who did not treat me well. I'm yeah, I'm showing on them in my mind, but it's still
Yeah.
not good. Yeah.
I know, I know. Today only I was getting angry on one of my friends, like up to chalo, it's like few years back. And this friend have was somebody who she used to throw a lot of tantrum. And I, for no reason at all, I was getting angry on her today. I could have got angry that day also. But why did she say like this? Where is this rage coming from? If you see, the Mars Saturn placement has also been like that in the collective right now, so that the rage rises. Okay, it is being done purposefully. वो जानबूझ के करवाया जा रहा है for many of us. So yes, so you're supposed to bring that in front of Devi and just ask, why am I feeling this? And even if you don't get an answer, it's okay. But project it towards that, towards the Devi. Okay. After some time, you'll feel that the rage is converting into a revelation. Okay. And for the ancestor part, the entire Devi path is supposed to heal the ancestors, because it will begin from Kali, which will happen through the body. It actually happened. Your ancestral healing would have happened because you did the Kali thing. And then it comes to Makamaka. A lot of womb and feminine lineage healing is going to happen through the womb. Then we'll go to the heart. Here, the masculine lineage healing will also happen, because heart is going to bring the masculine together, masculine, feminine. So that is also going to happen. And finally, there's something to become. I don't know what Devi is going to come. I have also not been told yet. Maybe by August, I will know. But whenever it happens during Navratri, we'll do. So the entire Devi path is supposed to be releasing the ancestral trauma. Because as you correctly said, we don't know why we are angry. Like it may not be something actually happening, but I'm just feeling it. And that is so it's so interesting to say this, Sheetal, because that is exactly what brought me all this wisdom. Because I was like, I have never felt like thankfully, touch wood, I've never had issues in my menstrual cycle. So ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है that can make me think कि अरे, like some women have cramps and all that, or you have never had anything like that. Then why am I saying it? I have very supportive people. That is what made me like, hey, this is not mine. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hope that answers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for all the answers. And I hope the new shift in the word brings more peace and happiness. And
It
thanks for
will.
your course also.
It will. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, on the lines of the new shift, I just want to tell you, those of you who live in Delhi or around Delhi, there's a very amazing event happening by Diana Cooper. Diana Cooper is one of these amazing mediums, by the way, and she hardly visits India. She's somebody who's been born in India. She truly values the land, and she has written this book called The Golden Age, where she has talked about how the coming years is going to be about the golden frequency children coming on this planet. She also talks about all of this in detail, and what an amazing woman. She's now, I think, on her 80 or something. Like she's really old, but she doesn't vibrate an older frequency. She vibrated a higher frequency. I'm a person who really admires her. And her event is happening in India. She's coming to India. So if you can visit, just go to the Diana Cooper Instagram. I think you will. I also try to visit. I'm not sure if I will be able to, but I'm just letting you know, those of you who are interested in this kind of topics, you must visit her session and just experience her magic. It will be lovely. Okay. Uh, let's go to the next person. Yes. So we have Priyanka. Priyanka, you couldn't talk at that time. Yes.
Hi, Shivangi.
Yes. Hello, Priyanka. I remember you.
Thank you for saying that. So you talked about soul scanning. So, I had a guru.
Hmm.
It's been one like 6, 7 months since she has chosen not to teach, not to be guru, and she has chosen her own path. So after that, I felt lost. What to do now? I don't know nothing because before meeting her, I used to talk to the universe and ask, yeah, I need guru. I just don't know. I was 20 at that time. Yeah, I need guru. So I met her. But I did not do any courses with her. I used to work with her. Then when she chose to move forward, but what I do is I'm very good with seeing past lives and my own past lives. When I'm meeting anyone, I'm able to see their pain and sufferings and their past lives. And then the work I'm doing, like I'm a fitness coach right now. And I don't feel connected to this work. It's been 1 year. And I just don't know what is the purpose of all these things that I'm seeing in people, the past life, and I feel so disconnected. I feel it's been 7 months since I'm sad. I'm constantly sad. And when I try to be happy after watching motivational videos and all, let me just be positive because I'm a happy go lucky person. I try to be happy, but then I'm not able to. And the thing about sexual thing is because of my childhood experiences with the men and specifically with the father, it was not very good. I had so many sexual traumas with him also for I think 17 years or good. That's what she told me.
Happens. Actually happens. Hmm.
Yeah. So when I was a child, I used to do past life. I used to lie down on my bed and I used to ask myself that there has to be some reason that I'm going through with this. I used to ask God,
Hmm.
this cannot happen to me without any reason. You have to tell me what is the reason behind it. So I met my guru, which is ma'am. She told me the reason behind it. Okay, why did it happen? But then after that, she told me that you are not ready for the courses or anything. And after that, the sexual thing, I feel a lot of sexual energies in me. I feel it's been 7 years since I haven't had anything with anyone, any relationships with anyone. Either I feel like I have the kind of energy to be with anyone. But I have a lot of shame around sexual and all these things. But I do not have problem in my periods because my mother never had any problem in her periods, no cramps and nothing. But yeah, these are my questions.
Interesting. So, what I was picking up when you were sharing is that, so first of all, you have fitness, by the way, that is there in your journey for a reason. Maybe not
I
the
met ma'am through that.
yeah, but there is more to it. Not because not in a conventional way, but fitness is there with you for a reason, because you can use the you can say the knowledge of the body that you might have got in the work that can come for you further. So it has been like given to you as a skill that you can use in the, like for example, I was somebody's entire school and everything. I was somebody who was very good with communication all the time on the stage doing speeches. So that was placed in me not because I was supposed to be like a news anchor or something, but because this was where I could use my communication. So similarly, fitness is there. And the fact that you can, so yeah, that happens, by the way, for many women actually who have gone through some kind of sexual abuse or some kind of suppression. They what they do is actually, because there's so much shadow, the darkness in the sacral chakra, that is too much to um, acknowledge and too much to accept. So what we do is we end up directing the energy of sacral chakra towards the third eye, because these two are connected. These two chakras are connected. So that's why our third eye becomes like overactive, and you end up seeing these experiences. So that is all fine, but what I feel for you is, because if you can see all of this past life, and if you have some informations and vision that is coming to you, you must start using them. Actually, you must start like making a purpose out of it. But it will be, past life is there, but not just past life. Past life is just the beginning. It is going to be, almost like, I'll tell you. So what I'm hearing is, it's like, let's say if you see me, you will be able to scan my body and tell me that which, like let's say my hand is storing the burden of this, or my belly is storing the emotion of this. You will be able
Hmm.
to scan the body, and somewhere, if you just go a little more deeper in your intuition and channeling, you will be able to tell them what they can do to release it, because you already have the background of exercises. You will be able to intuitively connect it and make it something that
Hmm.
can help the women who are coming to you. And it is going to be a woman driven work for sure.
Hmm.
Okay. And specifically around lower body, because many women have a lot of distorted emotions and energy blockages in their lower body itself. They're struggling with weight also. I know many people who want to lose weight, but they're not able to, or some women who are trying to gain weight because of, better pregnancy and all that, but they're not able to, because the energy is still there. And when you combine both of them, it becomes really powerful as a practice. So try that. You can do that, is what I can see for you. Try that. And of course, when you do the Kamakya workshop and everything, more will open. This will definitely open for you. When you will do the Kamakya workshop, you will be opening it. Your portal will be ready to bring this wisdom. Okay. And
Hanumanji was coming for Hanumanji was coming to me from past 1 year through
hmm,
people. Like they were devotees of him.
hmm,
I never felt any pull. I never felt any pull. But when I was a child, I used to do regular Sundarkand with my mother.
hmm,
I used to go to the temple. Like she loves doing pujas and all. Like it's her escaping thing. She tries to escape through pujas and all because she denied and everything that happened that you did not tell me. It's your fault. So now she is a big bhakta of Bhagwan Ji.
hmm,
So, but yeah, there are a lot of beautiful things which came through her, which is devotion.
Yeah.
I was a child, she told me कि Shiva is your guru. If
Hmm.
you will, call his name entire night, तो तुम्हारी आवाज उन तक पहुंच जाएगी. And I
Hmm.
used to believe कि ऐसा होता होगा. और अभी भी जब मैं ड्रीम्स में कोई घोस्ट या फिर कुछ देखती हूँ, अपने आप ही वो सपने में शिवा 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 मेरा स्टार्ट हो जाता है. It's like,
Interesting. I just want to tell you something interesting. So, because you talked about Hanumanji, so good that you added that. So, there were some ancient practices that used to happen in the south of the country, which is like Tamil Nadu, and it's called Meipadam or something, Meipadam, and there's other also Kalarapattu, and I don't know the correct pronunciation. But there are many ancient practices that used to happen in the south of the country, which was not actually for physical fitness. It gave um, the benefit of it for sure, but it was actually being done for the activation of the nervous system, for of the lymphatic system, and also the activation of the energy body. Okay, and in that practice, Hanuman is something that is seen as the supreme, like, guru. And in Maypadam, not Kalarapattu is of course there, but there's something called Maypadam, which is a little bit, I think, the beginning or something like that. So Maypadam is something where, or even in Kalarapattu actually, Kali, Hanuman, these forms are literally worshipped. And Hanumanji is connected to that kind of tantra, which also involves Shastra. Many people don't know this. If you go on YouTube, maybe you'll find some knowledge. But tantra also had a lot of Shastra. This, like, and Shastra means like fighting. Okay, defense, fighting, protection. You, I can see, have this energy that there's something about that I want to protect, the need to protect, you know those who are like the weaker, or the silence.
actually, it feels tiring sometimes because I meet a lot of people and I'm able to see their struggle the moment they are in front of me. And sometimes they get offended. And I feel this burden. I have seen many of my past lives where I have been this protector kind of a person, protecting everyone.
Exactly.
Sometimes it, some, sometimes it feels heavy.
I
And
know.
why do I need to take all this burden on my shoulders? But
I know. It will not feel heavy. I used to feel the same as a healer. I was very attached to the identity of a healer. It will only feel heavy till the time I am attached to the identity of a healer. After some time, when I released it, and it took me quite some time to do it, it just became something where I am just doing the session. I am the one who's making you meditate, but I step out and I let the divine come through me, and it doesn't tire me. I become the one who's also receiving and not doing it.
if you don't mind, I can just say something. When I look at you, I just want to protect you also from
Oh,
something. I don't know from what.
no,
I
I definitely need, because the work that I do, it involves like a lot of things. So I definitely, but it's so nice that you're saying it. My team members feel this. It's the same, by the way. Shweta, Nikita, and Sai, they're all very like protective and all towards me. Very sweet. But yes, you. So yeah, my suggestion for now would be, look at my padam. If you can learn that, there are practices like that online that you can. YouTube also can help you with that. And second, after the Kamakya workshop, try to channel a practice like this, where it will come through you. It will just come through you. It has to come through you. So where you can help women understand what is actually stored in that part of their body and what they can do for that. You never know. You'll end up launching yourself as something which is offering a very unique practice, and you will find yourself a very unique purpose.
you talk about emotions and all, and I've been telling you and writing also on comments that because of all these sexual things, whenever I try to feel, I'm not able to cry. I feel like it's a lot of chore to cry. Why should I sit and cry? And it feels very exhausting for me
Yeah.
to actually sit and start crying. And then when I feel sad, I feel like I need someone to whom I can talk to,
Mm,
like in physical form. Like
mm,
in physical form. I have been talking to God ever since I was child. But in physical form, I want to just tell the pain to someone. I want to like bring this pain out like that. I'm not able to dance when I'm sad. I feel shame. When I'm sad and dancing, I feel shame.
mm. All of that is
Uh,
the Kamakya. You should have actually, taken the Kali one also. After the Kamakya one, whenever you can, ask Sai to enroll you into the Kali one also. Uh,
I saw Kali Ma in my dream, her dancing painting.
hmm.
And I don't know, maybe I saw her in real also, walking in my room. But I was so scared that I slept.
Yeah, that happened to me also.
And then you talk about ghosts. I've seen one or two ghosts few years back in my room, and I'm always scared of seeing ghosts.
I know. I used to be very scared of seeing ghosts all the time, then I got into this kind of work. Imagine that. So where we are already but all of these signs that you are telling me now, Priyanka, is a sign of a person who's supposed to channel wisdom from higher realms. Right now,
And I'm
you,
scared of doing it. I
huh,
feel I just can't do it.
I know you. I know you feel that. That is why you need the Kamakya workshop. That is why you need the womb healing, because it will just make you realize that, Arey, what am I scared of? Because itna funny hai ye, those women who are scared of these kind of things, and when they are gifted already with this possibility, they are the ones who have been extremely powerful in some lifetime. And they're actually scared of their own power rather than,
Prosecution wound.
yeah,
I
exactly.
have that.
Yeah, exactly. So that has to go out, that will release through the womb itself. Then only you
Fear
can
of
step out.
power.
Yeah, fear of your own power.
Yeah, I see myself dimming my light to make others feel more comfortable. I feel I will be more.
Exactly. Exactly. So all of what you're saying, na, it's like you're giving the blueprint of a classic priestess of some lifetime who has been born again, but with a lot of fear and with a lot of karmic baggage, and that has to be released. It's like I'm seeing myself because I've seen all of this. 5 years.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, yeah. I do feel that for many women that I meet, it feels like they are just me, but just in a different year, like me into 2018 maybe. Um, but the good part is to 2025 comes and you become this. So it is the good part. Trust me, you love what you do then. So that is why it will come, but it has to come through Kali. It has to come through Devi. That is why Kalima is kind of hanging around your place. She wants to come. And
I'm so
her,
scared. I'm so scared. I live alone here. I'm so scared.
do you do the Hanuman sadhana, by the way, that we were doing in the group?
Yeah. I do it every day, and I want to tell you something. When I sing Hanuman Chalisa, I feel it's not me, it's him. It's Hanumanji who's singing. I feel lot of devotion,
Hmm.
and I
Good.
feel this small child with me in
Hmm.
monkey form, like in my head, and I feel, yeah.
नहीं ठीक है good. But yeah, continue that. Tomorrow I'm in the live. We are doing again a tomorrow live session tomorrow around 6 p.m. for Hanuman Sadhana people who are doing it. So I'm going to show the path of how you can continue that. You should continue Hanuman Sadhana for some time. Naturally, he will nudge you slowly towards Kali. And it will not feel like, oh my God. It will be like a very beautiful, smooth transition that will happen. That will happen through Hanumanji itself. So just wait for that. And for now, of course, you're going to do workshop of Makamaka, so it will be fun.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was so nice talking to you, to be honest.
Really, okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you so much. Okay, I just want to quickly answer this one question before we take the last few questions, because I think it has been 2 hours. Uh, just a second. Yeah, so there was this one question. Can anybody here? This question that Lekika has asked is interesting. Can anybody here make me aware if I'm missing something? Being single, not having a partner and child, as everyone here is talking about child. No. So of course, a few of us probably would have signed up for that kind of contract where we have to come and birth the child frequency and all. But no, you're not missing on anything. In fact, many of us are actually doing a favor where we are, by not choosing to involve into, and that's why if you see, many women are now taking that choice that I don't want to birth a child, and it's a want. It's not something that I'm scared of. It's just that I know that I don't want to do this, and it is happening from a place of knowing, not from a place of fear. you are actually also contributing to the work, this shift, but in a different sense. Why? Because when you are not choosing to get involved on all of that, what you're trying to do is you're trying to um, avoid the possibilities of any low frequency karma again coming back to our dear Mother Earth or Bhumi Devi. That is a choice that you're making because you know that you need to do a lot of work for yourself and you're happy doing that. That is one way to look at it. Another thing is that many of these women are supposed to birth not babies but a purpose. They're supposed to birth a purpose, a project, okay, a mission, okay, a new teaching, a new way of spirituality, a new way of working, maybe even music, maybe even dance. They're supposed to birth something so important, which is also like a child, by the way, which can help into the elevation and ascension of this frequency. Like, for example, I know this lady, I was just talking about Maypadam. So I know this lady who does this, like who teaches this, I think. Uh, and she is somebody who is bringing this lost thing, this lost wisdom again back, birthing into a new way, bringing it back to us. So many women who are actually feeling this, and it's not coming from fear. Like, yes, there is fear, but it's also like a desire that I don't want this. It's from a place of purpose because you know that you're supposed to birth something different. You're still birthing, by the way, but different. So that's also there. It's also there. And your purpose could be so much like a baby, almost so much that you have to do the work, that you know that this is what is my choice and this is how I will contribute. So it is still fine. It doesn't have to be a child. Yeah, it is all about creating. Exactly. Okay. So now let's go to Medha.
Hi.
Hi, Medha.
Not such deep questions. I think after hearing everybody else, it seems very flimsy, but anyways, I'll still put it out there. So last several, I think since March or maybe Feb, I've connected with you and it's been a roller coaster ride for the better for sure. I mean, yeah. So like many of them were saying, there's been so many changes and there are moments where it feels like a remembrance, but there's such a deep self-doubt that comes immediately after that it almost feels like there's this cold burst of air inside just my head, and it just goes away in the moment the doubt comes. So it's been, and it leaves always many a times there's this weird headache that lingers for almost a day or so. So A, is this something that I'm doing wrong in my maybe meditation practices that could lead to this? Because like many times I ask these questions in your meditations, and oftentimes I get the response that your head stepped in or your mind stepped in, which truly it does. There's a lot of controlling need that I have, admittedly so, and I always feel that. So there's always this nape of my neck hurts common throughout any practice where I'm trying to really push through. It's almost like I'm fighting with myself in my own mind. So is there something that can help with that? That's one question. Sorry. Second question that I have is that in on days when I am able to either just drop in or connect or just have one of those moments where I feel that I've connected, I just have to sleep like a lot. Like I sleep as if I've got COVID or something and I just want to sleep.
Oh God.
So it's these two things, if you can throw some light on, please. Thank you.
Interesting. Deepa is adding here that I think headache is normally when forgiveness is needed. Interesting. Um, I'll come to your answer. Just answering a question quickly to Priyanka. Shivangi, what are the names of the places you told me to explore related to Hanumanji and Pan? Places? Did I tell you places? I think I told you the practice of Maypadam. I think that's what I told you. I don't remember saying places. Does anybody else remember places? If it comes to me again, I'll tell you, but I don't remember saying places. Okay. So, Medha.
Anji.
So you remind me, by the way, a lot of this lady. She is somebody who's very close to me because she has been with me, I think, for the longest. Her name is Namrata. I absolutely love her, and she loves me also a lot. So why I'm telling you this, because I've seen this very interesting, because I've done a lot of soul scans. Okay, like I think more than 300 or something I've done so far. And every soul scan that I've done, I've found that there are few of you who are exactly the same energy. Okay, like I can put those people in the same soul group, and there are soul groups, by the way. You may not know each other consciously in this life, but you're energetically connected. So your spiritual journey will happen together. Okay, I also know few of my soul groups who are not in this, like in this country, but they are there somewhere else, you know. So your energy is very similar to Namrata, and I won't be surprised if both of you are in the same soul group up there, like best friends up there. Okay, so yeah. So why I'm mentioning Amrita is because she was very similar to you when she started her journey, and it has been, I think, 3 or more than 3 years for her. She started her journey in a very similar way. She came from a background where there was a lot of controlling. She also, humbly accept that I'm very controlling. She's also like that. Okay, she has a lot of control. At the same time, the work that she was in, she's an investment banker or something like that. So there was a lot of analytical work that has to be done, logical based work. Similarly, what you do is also a lot to do with analysis. So now, why is that important? Is because I told her one thing that I'm going to tell you also. She also had a very similar problem. I told her that you know what you're doing wrong. You're not doing meditation wrong. You're not doing energy work wrong. The only thing that you're doing wrong is you're trying to categorize it that this is energy work and this is my mind, and they are opposite of each other when they are not. You don't need to fight your mind. Okay, when your mind says that, oh, it's not happening, explore that, because that is your power. Argue with that, give it a good argument that no, it is real. It is your power. You know that as a lawyer, you have that power to give the best argument. So give argument to that, to the mind of yours, saying that no, 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 it's true. And I'll tell you why, all of these things. And the mind will again answer back. Okay, so involve it into a discussion rather than making a conflict. You will be so surprised. Your mind will help you to realize something that you have not helped so far. Because for people like you who have so strong solar plexus and so strong throat chakras, they're supposed to connect their power in this process rather than, and your power is that you can analyze well. Your power is that you can see through what is false, what is true. You can read those subtle signs that not everybody can see. Okay? And so far, Medha, you are seeing it as your, like it's my weakness. I shouldn't be doing this. I should just be intuitive. I should just go with the flow. No, it's okay. Hold the flow. Ask, question. Let your mind tell you that it is a doubt. Agree, yeah, it could be actually. Why not? It could be a doubt. Let's explore why you're saying that it is a doubt. Why are we not trusting this? And then you give your, trust me, when you will do this process, exactly what I told Namrata. When you will do this process, you will start using your mind rather than going against it. And that is how it is supposed to be for you.
It's already giving me goosebumps hearing this. I feel like it's truly something I should be doing for sure. That makes total sense. That makes total sense.
What was the next question that you asked?
The sleep. I don't know. It's like this on intoxicating sleep. I can sleep
Yes,
for hours.
that I can't help you with, because that's something that happens with physical reactions and all
Okay.
that, the energy. So
Okay.
that will, but it will not stay with you for a very long time. It will happen for like maybe 6 months. When you will do this work, you'll feel sleepy, then you'll be fine. After some time, your body will kind of know, okay, we are gonna do this and it's gonna happen. So this is our new way of living. Your body will adjust. Okay, right now it's good that you're sleeping. Actually, sleeping helps a lot, because when you do this kind of meditation work, there's a lot of processing that has to be done, that you're learning, right? And the mind is already kind of, no, no, I oppose this is not right. So if we let the mind sleep, the absorption of what you have done happens better. So it is happening in your favor. So good, sleep is fine, that is not a problem, but use your mind rather than going against it.
Thank
Give into that. Yeah, it is a doubt. Definitely. ये सब बकवास है, ये नहीं हो रहा है मेरे साथ. Go into that path. Okay. And trust me, the moment you start to say बकवास है, your mind is so trained, वही आपको बोलेगा कि नहीं नहीं बकवास नहीं है, लेकिन but it will, because your mind is like that. You are
That is
classic.
so
Like,
true.
I know that. Right? I've seen you in Namrata. Your souls are very, and not in Namrata only. I know many people who are very similar soul energy. So I can see what is going on there. so, so that is why. So go agree with it. And the moment you will agree with it, you might be like, no, but it is true. And that will happen. that will happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Let's go to Shifali and then Tej. Shifali, are you around? You will have to unmute yourself. Can you unmute? No? Mm, I am trying to give you ask to unmute. Not happening. Okay. Try to post your question then. Na? Till then, I'll take stage.
Namaskar, Shivangi ji.
Yes. Namaste. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Thank you so much. साष्टांग दंडवत पहले तो आपके चरणों में. Thank you.
Ashirvad. Thastu. Yes.
My question, I'll straight away go to the question. Okay, we all know our flaws. No, I'm not perfect in any sense. I have many flaws. I know that. But whatever I'm trying I am not my level best, but I am trying to do few things. But again, what to do with the guilt that I'm not doing enough?
I'm not doing enough. Can you like one day write what is enough according to you? Like maybe write in a journal, according to you, when will I be doing enough? What things that I have to do so that I know that I have done enough? Can you write that someday? Or is there any
Okay.
way to do it?
Yeah,
Because
like if I'm doing Chalisa, okay. So consciously, okay, I don't have to just dug, 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 dug. I have to listen to what I'm saying, and in between my mind will wander somewhere, and then I'll beat myself up like, what the hell, what did I do? Sometimes when I'm doing the Chalisa, some important call came. Sorry Hanumanji, please, important call hai, jara chak lo, right? So I'll do that. And then like and even doing Ma Shakti, just praying to her. Although like there are, it seems like there are two things sitting in front of divine. One is the child, and she's happy with everything, like she knows I'm in safe place. Another one is like, you're not doing good enough, you're not doing that thing, like I'm not organized, to be honest. Not good with time management, although I'm praying to Bhairav Baba, but still I'm not that place, right? So these things, I don't know what like how to handle that thing.
so this is something which I think Nikita will help you a lot with. My team member, Nikita,
Yeah.
she is exactly she was facing this exactly the same issue from the last, I think, 2 years or so. And she also had some issues around time management, procrastination, not feeling that I'm not doing enough. Good that you mentioned Bhairav Sadhana. See, I can give you some knowledge on this, gyan on this, but rather than that, what I want you to do is, have you done Bhairav Sadhana?
Just I pray on to him on Sundays, but last two Sundays I wasn't able to. But
Hmm.
usually I just pray for protection, and yeah, just do
No,
that.
then listen to this. That whatever that you do, it's okay if you do it, don't do it. But contact Nikita or Sai, any one of them. All my three team members, I think Shweta is also there only. All three of them are
Okay.
sadhaks. All of them. Proper sadhaks, like
Okay.
proper mantra sadhana and everything they do. Okay. I
Okay.
only don't do it. Everything, all the rest of them do it. So Nikita got really good benefit out of the sadhana. Of course, it's not because for the benefit. She just had a lot of love for Bhairavji, but
Yeah.
definitely helped her with procrastination. It helped her with confidence and a lot of other things. I would request you to do Bhairav Sadhana because it is not just puja. It is actually like, like people say, if you have some issues, like weight issue, whatever, do Kapal Bharti. People say na in yoga, Kapal Bharti karo, ye karo, do that. It is like that. This practice of Bhairav Sadhana is so powerful. It is not just puja. It is
Mm.
an actual, you can say, work. Like if you take, it's like a medicine. If you do it, it will give you some result. It has to. It is like a process. Okay. So for this
Okay.
na, ये guilt ho raha hai and this time thing, both of them, Bhairav ji can really help you with. And I would have not suggested you Bhairav ji until unless you would not have given me the name of Bhairav. You suddenly mentioned it. And that was my cue to tell you that you should do Bhairav Sadhana. Okay, only
Yeah,
Bhairav, Kal Bhairav sadhana. Okay. So Kal Bhairav has other forms also. Batuk Bhairav is there and other different forms are also there. But you can talk to Shweta, you can talk to Sai, you can talk to Nikita. Any three of them, you will get answer how to do it. They'll tell you how exactly to do it. They know how to do it. And just start with that practice. You will see an immense change. And we are
okay.
also going to introduce Bhairav Sadhana very soon in the Divine Circle group after Hanuman Sadhana. So you can do that.
He has helped me a lot. Like I had lots of fears, even driving and so many things.
Hmm.
And I have seen a big change after in getting in touch with you. My life, I don't know, there's no comparison between, both those phases.
Sure.
But just a little bit is still left. So so how do we do all these three things? Like, like Ma sadhana. I'm not a sadhak. I'm very, I'm very simple person. छोटा मोटा मतलब बस कर लेती हूँ जितना भी है. लेकिन फिर हनुमान जी को भी करना है, उनका भी करना है, ठीक है.
अभी मत
मैंने
करना. Don't do after Hanuman Sadhana ends. That's why I'm
हाँ
telling
हाँ
you, don't do anything. You're doing the Kamakhya wala thing or Devi Path if you're doing. Just do
हाँ
that.
जी.
There's anyways going to be one day in a month when you will come for the
Okay.
session. And then do the Bhairav Sadhana. That's all. Don't do Hanuman Sadhana. Don't do any other Devi Sadhana also. Just start with Bhairav Sadhana.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Okay.
all. Okay, if you want to do some puja and all for other gods, that's a different thing. But when I say
Yeah.
sadhana, what I mean is like a proper mantra chanting that is happening. Okay,
Okay.
and you continue that. Bhairav sadhana is something which is like it continues till
Okay.
your soul is kind of ready to expand into something else. But you should do that. It will really help you. बहुत
Okay.
बहुत बेनिफिट होगा. प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन टाइम वो सब होता है. बट हाँ, जब आप करोगे बिकॉज यू ऑलरेडी हैव दिस लव टुवर्ड्स काल भैरव जी, तो इट विल नेचुरली हैपन थ्रू लव. बेनिफिट्स मिलते रहेंगे. दैट इज व्हाट इट विल हैपन. ओके,
Okay.
सो दैट्स
तो
व्हाट
अगर
आई.
ऊपर नीचे हो गया गुस्सा तो नहीं करेंगे ना वो?
नहीं. एक तो भैरव जी का ना पीआर बहुत गलत कर दिया सबने. Everybody has marketed and done very wrong PR of Bhairav ji. That he is very angry. No, he's the most, I think he's one of the most compassionate divine beings. Very compassionate. And he has deep, deep honor for a woman's vessel. Okay, deep honor. In fact, he is the one who reminded me of one of my past life. I used to get this vision of Bhairavji coming to me and placing my leg, my feet on his head. And I used to feel very guilty that why am I having this kind of vision? This is so bad. Then after some time, and it was like a 6 months, 6 months. I was in Rishikesh. There also I got this vision. I was very like, why am I getting this vision? Very recently, like in the last 3 months, I realized because he came to me when I was doing some dance. I was doing the same practice, that Kalima practice that I have showed, that I was doing for myself. I was doing that practice and I suddenly saw him. And then it felt like he told me that this is what I was trying to teach you, that your body is supposed to be honored. That is why I was keeping it or, here. And when you honor your body, your root chakra establishes, it stabilizes, and when that happens, root chakra is connected to Kal Bhairavji immensely. That is why the feet was being shown. The feet was a representation of that. And when root chakra stabilizes, one thing is that you feel very anchored in your body. You will start respect it. Also, when the root chakra establishes, you get very like proper time. You'll not procrastinate. You will be doing everything properly because you are here. You're present. Your mind will not go anywhere else. So that also. That is why I'm suggesting you that you do Kal Bhairav Sadhana or Bhairav Sadhana to be simply put. Connect with my team members. They will show you how to do it.
Perfect, perfect. I got two answers actually. My lower area is very it's weak in a way, and whatever you said, it's all the things they made sense.
I also
Yeah.
I have flat feet. That is why I always used to be like, I'm very scared on like treks and all. I can't do it because I have flat feet. So all my childhood, entire age, I was like, I can't do all of this because I was very scared. I could never trust my feet. I always had this fear, I'll fall. I'll fall. So when Bhairavji came and he placed that feet, he made me realize that you got to trust. You got to trust your
Mm.
root chakra. And I had deep wounds in my root chakra, like very strong ones. So that he has been able to release, and with his grace, that has happened. But for you, it will, I feel he will, when he will come to you, when you will do sadhana, it is not just going to be for one thing that has to be done. He will continue as your teacher, is what I feel for you.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's take Shifali's question quickly, which she has given. Where did it go? After Devi session, we are launching Bhairav Sadhana in the month of August. 100%. We're just trying to manage it with Ganesh Sadhana also. So I have to see the timelines. But let's see. Let's see. It will be a free offering, like Hanuman Sadhana. Where is the question? Second question, I can see. Where's the first question? Two questions. When I meditate, I don't see visions, and people talk about visions after meditation. I feel left out. I know it feels like that. I specifically remember that last year during my soul scan, you told me that my meditation is not about stillness, but having conha, which I can do somehow, but I feel that I'm missing out if I don't get visions. I'll tell you something interesting. So I used to get a lot of visions in my initial years of uh, doing all this work. But I think first few years. Last year, say, leke abhi tak mein, my visions have reduced a lot. Like I don't see much anymore. I just get information. I just know. And it's not that I'm doing something to get the information. I'll be randomly sitting and talking to somebody, and suddenly I'll say something which I'm like, oh, this is not me. Suddenly I'll say some real, and I'll also not know that this information is going to come through me. So this is like a second level. So first of all, if you're able to converse with, and you're able to get information without visions, I'll tell you something about visions that is very interesting. Vision is a very important play of Maya. And it comes to those people who need that to be able to keep progressing their journey. It came to me in the very beginning. Now it comes to me only when actually a vision has to be shown to me. Otherwise, it just comes in a knowing. And I am sure enough now that I don't need a vision. You are on that, Shifali. Because I've done your soul scan, that is why I'm telling you. You already can do so many things. You don't need vision. Why will God give you? क्यों दिखाएगा आपको ये पूरा पिक्चर? आप ऑलरेडी मान रहे हो कि हाँ ये सब हो रहा है. So there is no need of you to see visions. Number one. Number two, you don't leave out anything if you're not having visions, because you're having experience, you're having emotion, you're getting information in your inner thoughts, in your inner knowing. And that is what the purpose of it is. The purpose is never to see something. I know if we feel like a little bit of FOMO, that everybody is like seeing this and that, why am I not seeing anything? But it's just our ego wanting to see. Remember that ego wants to see, the soul just wants to experience. That's all. And your soul is experiencing, it doesn't need visions for that. Okay, so that's what I will say for the first. And it has drastically reduced. I sometimes miss that. I miss that Shivangi who could see so much in the meditation. Now I don't. When I meditate, I'm like, it's black. I'm getting information, but I want it was entertaining. So now I don't get it. It's very difficult. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it do. But still, I'm able to channel really well. In fact, much better than what I have been doing in the last few years. So you don't need visions. I don't connect with Kalima much, but which was the reason I did enroll for the first chapter. Somehow connect more with the lighter goddess. Is there a reason behind that? So yeah, there are like these kind of inclinations where somebody would connect more with. So I was somebody who connected more with Maa Kali, but I could actually never feel connection with, let's say, Maa Lakshmi or Makamaka, not Kamakya is to chalo, but let's say Maa Tripura Sundari, Maa Kamala, those kind of forms. When I started, like, I think when my ascension progressed more, then suddenly Maa Kali was like, okay, bye. And then she sent Maa Tripura Sundari. So right now you may not be drawn to it. Okay. And it will happen, I can tell you. Right now you need, so I'll tell you why this was happening for me. In my past lives, I have belonged to the lineage of Kali, where I have worshipped her, where I have done some sadhana for her, and I've been with her from a very long time in many of my incarnations. So that is why it is very easier for me to connect with Maa Kali. Like it's just like this. But I have not been somebody who has been too much into the sadhana of, let's say, Maa Tripura Sundari. And this life and maybe few more back down, I have started to do it. So till date, it is very difficult for me to connect very quickly with Ma Sundari. It happens after 11 days of sadhana, Ma Sundari will come one day and do some magic and then go. It's very difficult for me, not for everybody else, but for me. Okay. But your transition will happen, that I can tell you. If you are connecting more with these Lakshmi and Saraswati and all that, ठीक है, जब तक उनका purpose है, they will come and serve, they will do the offering, they'll do the blessings and everything, but the transition will happen and you will find yourself one day being drawn to Maa Kali. That has to happen, because when you're in the path of Devi, yes, you hold one Devi and then you kind of progress further, but you experience all of it. You do experience all of it in the path of Devi. So that will happen. Okay. All right. Okay, so I do see few hands still raised. But it has been like 2.5 hours, and I think my channeling is going to go really bad if I continue after this, because I will be tired. So I hope that you join tomorrow's session, and maybe we can ask few questions tomorrow also. Though tomorrow's session is going to be about Hanuman Sadhana, but we can cover a few here and there as well. So please do join tomorrow if you want to answer. Sorry, if you want to answer. And we'll do Hanuman Sadhana Q&A tomorrow at 6 p.m. again. I'll share the link in the Kali group also. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And I hope to see you soon. Jai Ma.